Hey everyone, welcome back to the JavaScript from Zero to Hero course. In the last video, we wrote our first JavaScript program, and today we are going to dig a little deeper. We are going to learn about the basic syntax and structure of JavaScript. Don't worry, I'll keep it simple and easy to follow. First, let's talk about what syntax means. Syntax is just a fancy word for the rules that tell us how to write code in JavaScript. Just like English, where we have grammar rules, JavaScript has its own rules. If we don't follow these rules, our code will not work properly. So let's look at some basic rules. So here in Visual Studio Code, let's create a new file named index.js, and in this file we are going to write a few lines of code together. Remember, don't stress, just follow along. In JavaScript, the most basic thing we write is called a statement. Think of it like a sentence in English. And just like we end sentences with a period, we usually end statements with a semicolon. Let's write a simple statement. So here I am writing console.log hello JavaScript. This lines of code is a statement. The console.log part is a command that tells the computer to print something out in the console, and the text inside the quotes is what gets printed. The semicolon at the end is like a period at the end of the sentence. Now let's run this code. So here in the right side you can see a play button. If you are not be able to see this button, then you need to install an extension called Code Runner. So install this extension in your Visual Studio Code, and then after that you can see this play icon. So I am clicking on this icon. Now see in the terminal, here is the hello JavaScript text. So after running the code, if you get some error, then which means you haven't installed Node.js in your machine. We will be able to run this code into terminal because we have already installed Node.js. So please do check out my setup development environment videos to install Node.js. Node.js helps us to run the code outside of the browser. So I'll make a dedicated video for Node.js. Let's get back to the topic. So we have successfully ran our code. Now one important thing to remember is that JavaScript is case sensitive. That means console.log must be written exactly like this, with a lowercase c and l. If you change it to uppercase, it won't work. See, when I change it to uppercase, and now let's run the code again. So I got an error. Console is not defined. Always be careful with how you type things. Next, let's talk about white spaces and indentation. White space is just a space, tabs and empty lines in your code. JavaScript doesn't really care about white space. It's for us humans to read the code more easily. For example, take a look at these two pieces of code. Both of these do the same thing, but the second one is much easier to read. That's why we use indentation to make our code neat and understandable. Finally, let's talk about comments. Comments are notes you can write in your code that the computer ignores. They are super helpful for reminding yourself or explaining what a piece of code does. So here, I am going to write a comment. In JavaScript, comment starts with 2 slashes. So this is a comment. So it's like leaving a note for yourself. Comments are a great way to keep your code organized and understandable. So I hope you found this video helpful, and if you want the source code, then please do check out in the description. I'll attach a link in the description. This video is a part of our JavaScript from Zero to Hero course. So please do check out our playlist. Like this video, share it with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, click the subscribe button and also press the bell icon. I'll see you in the next video. Happy coding everyone.